I wonder how there are successful people who made it in life. See, there are entrepreneurs who make millions of dollars living in Bali. A lot of fitness influencers who achieve the Greek god physique. And content creator makes 6 figures a month living in Bali. But I'm here, living in the same situation for years, and I finally get out of that situation. See, I'm able to go from 59 kilograms skinny little neck to now have a Greek god type of physique. And I've been my focus for years and made my first $4,000 through online business. So the first thing you need to do is to have contrarian thinking. I always break the rules back in high school. So I remember back then I asked one of my teacher why we need to learn about 12 different courses that we don't really need in our life. And you know what is the answer? She said, you need to learn it. I kept asking myself why I need to learn this random knowledge that I don't really need in life. Why do I need to learn this basic accounting, mathematics, or even physics? Although I think 99% of the course in high school is useless. But there's one thing I learned is to have contrarian thinking. You see people doing the same thing over and over again for decades. They go to school, get good grades, get a job, get a mortgage, and living a happy life. But I know you're watching this video, you want to have better life. You don't want to live like the normies. You don't want to spend the next 40 years living in the same country, in the same house, driving the same car, and go to the same office for years. You want to do one thing that is meaningful, that you need to work 24/7, and you sacrifice your relationship, your life, your health for it. You don't want to live like 99% of people. You want to think like the top 1%. So this is why you need to have a contrarian thinking. You see your friends and family, your teachers do the same thing over and over again. They spend 8 hours, 5 days per week working on something that they don't even care about. And the funny thing is that they're willing to do it for the next 40 years. You can apply contrarian thinking in every single aspect of your life. So let's say you go to gym, you want to build an aesthetic physique. You know, almost everyone who go to gym, they don't achieve their dream body. So now you sit there and think, why these people don't achieve their dream body? Maybe it's because they don't improve their habits, they don't improve their nutrition, they don't research about overall fitness, how to grow muscles. So now you gather all of this information and make conclusion. You look at these different perspectives and you make conclusion for yourself. Now you realize if you want to achieve your dream body, you need to focus on your diet. You need to focus on your nutrition. The same thing applies in your life. You see, everyone is poor. They don't achieve their dream lifestyle. They don't have their dream car. They don't even achieve their dream life. So what you need to do? Think. And you realize to get rich, you need to put in more effort in your business. You need to start a business. You can't go 9-to-5 jobs saving for investment, making 7% every single year. It didn't work. You need to think how you can create value so that people can buy your stuff and you make money from it. That's how you have a contrarian perspective rather than following the crowd. Go to school, get good grades, get a job, and save all of your money in index fund, and hopefully you can get rich by 40 years old, 60 years old, and get retired by that. But you start your business, you start your fitness journey because you know health, wealth, and relationships are the things that you want to improve. So the second thing you need to have is taking more risk. So I want to be honest with you, I'm in my 3rd year of university and I learned nothing. Since the first year of university, I focused on my fitness and making content on YouTube. You know, I took some risk. If you want to think like the top 1% of people, you need to take more risk in your life. You know, people crave security. They go to school, get good grades, get a job. They want a secure job so that they can get a mortgage for the next 20, 30 years and get the house. And what they do, they save enough money for their retirement accounts so that by 60 years old, they can retire. You need to take risks in your life. And if you don't, forget about your goals, forget about the ideal lifestyle you want to live, forget about everything. I repeat, you need to take risks. You know, every achievement I get in life is because I took some risks. I go to gym the past 3 years, I took some risks. I don't worry to get injured training every single day in the gym. I don't scare making content every single week without seeing results in my finance, in my business. I don't scare all of these things. And I know taking risks is the best way for me to live. So if you have that thing in your mind that you need to take risks, you need to start making content or start go to gym and start your fitness journey, take that risk. Because at the end of the day, this is your life. You need to make your own decision, not your friends, not your family, but this is your life. So the last thing is to have first principle thinking. The reason why I make this content is because I want to help you to think like the top 1% of people. I want you to wake up and start taking action. I want you to be disciplined in your life. I want you to develop your focus and productivity so that 5 to 10 years from now, you achieve your goals, you have an aesthetic body, you have a successful business, you have a good relationship with your friends, with your family, with your partner. I boiled it down to the first principle, why I make this content. Of course, I want to make money, but I want to help people. Why I go to gym? Because I want an aesthetic physique. I want to attract better partner. Why I start my business is because I want to make money. I want to have freedom. I don't want to work 8 hours a day, 5 days per week for the next 40 years, 50 years. I want to have freedom in my life. I would rather work 24/7 on my business than just work 8 hours on something that I don't care about, that don't get me fulfillment in my life. So here's the example for you. You want to have an aesthetic body, you want to have better partner, or you want to make 10 grand per month or 100 grand per month from your online business and live better life. So you need to ask why you want these things. Because if you just watch this random content on YouTube, Instagram, where people share their lifestyle, their throw party in Ibiza, they live this good lifestyle. They become digital nomad in Bali. But you need to ask yourself why you want these things. Because if it's just external motivation that you see people online achieve your dream lifestyle, they go to party, they have Bugatti, they have Porsche, they have this sports car, but there is no internal motivation, that fire inside of you that you truly want to achieve this life, it's all useless. Forget about these things. Because you need to break everything down to first principle. Ask yourself why you want to have these things, why you want to have an aesthetic body. Because you want to attract better partner, because you want to have higher status in society. Ask yourself why you want to start an online business and make money online. Because you want to work on something you care about. You want to make content that help other people, and you want to make money by solving problems. You want to sacrifice your time, your energy, your health, or even your relationships to make that business success. You need to ask why. So if you want to learn more about these things, where I give you the exact step-by-step guide so that you can start to think like 1% of people, so that you can stop all of your bad habits, stop all of your limiting beliefs, and start to develop your focus and productivity, so that you can achieve your goals in the next 12 weeks, you can join my program, first link in the description below. Also get my $1 ebook where I teach you the lessons I get from business, link in the description below. And enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.